and welcome to today's session about managing your finances abroad. Just a small overview. My name is Gesa Heim, and I hold an MSc in Higher Education and Science Management. I'm specialized in the German and European higher education sector since over 15 years. I'm a senior expert in the YUF team based in Berlin, Germany, and I'm very, very happy to talk to you today. So this session has three parts: a general part about YUF, your Unifinder, then a special feature on the topic of managing your finances abroad, and the third part will introduce you into the features of our excellent new mobile app, Assisted. All of this will take around 30 to 35 minutes, and after that you will have plenty of time to ask me all of your questions. So first of all, I should convince you that it's a very, very good idea to study in Europe. In Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, but also other countries, these countries do not distinguish between local and international students when it comes to education and tuition fees. Countries like Germany, Switzerland, Austria, but also Italy offer scholarships to students based on their financial background as well as on their educational acumen. There are hundreds of different types of scholarships available with most institutions. For example, let's move to my home country, Germany. There are low or no tuition fees at all for domestic and for international students. We have hundreds of top-ranked universities, affordable living costs, and lots of study programs taught in English. There are great job opportunities for international students and graduates, and high chances of settling after completing your education. We offer internationally recognized degrees, and travels to all of Europe on a student visa are possible. And you will become part of a very huge and diverse community if you like. That sounds already quite good, right? So let's move on to our neighboring countries, for example, Austria, which offers specialized study programs in English language to international students, and also no tuition fees for international students. The quality of life is very high in Austria, with a high level of social security. Universities promote student participation in sports and recreational activities. It's known to be one of the most livable countries in Europe, and I can tell you my next holidays will lead me to Austria for sure. It's a quite affordable study destination also. Switzerland is also the neighboring country of Austria and Germany, and it's known to be one of the safest places in the world. It offers excellent study programs and affordable costs to international students. The living costs are, though, considerably higher in Switzerland. Sharing its borders with 5 other countries, it is a traveler's paradise. Swiss scientists are held in high demand all over the world, and the country has a penchant for efficiency, which is well reflected in its transportation and all public access systems. The geography of this country is as diverse as the people there. With 4 native languages, it is quite a multicultural place. These are just a few examples of countries in Europe, in the excellent European higher education system, that offer you access to basic studies and even master studies, graduate studies, without tuition fees. But we know that you face many challenges once you decide to go to study abroad. Like, how can I find the right program for me? And where and how do I submit my application? What are the documents required for this application? And where can I get all of these attestations done that these guys want from me? And then what are the next steps to take before I can start to study abroad? And what kind of questions will I be asked in the visa interview? We can assist you. That's the good news. Who we are? We are a professional recruitment and higher education consulting team with many years of experience in recruitment for the European and worldwide higher education sector. We have experience not just in recruitment, but also visa processing, accommodation assistance, and scholarship consultation. We are committed to providing you assistance from start to end in every aspect of your university admission: the application submission, the coordination of the process with the university, visa support, accommodation services, projects during your studies, and a lot of more things. In order to be able to do this and place you best at European universities that do not charge tuition fees, we developed what I call the perfect triangle for you: predict, support, succeed. We predict the admission probability with our unique artificial intelligence based app Assisted, relying on data from previously admitted students and 500 plus universities. We support you with personal guidance by our expert team through the jungle of application to universities that offer scholarships and free education. Then succeed. Enroll in one of Europe's excellent academic environments and benefit from high quality higher education with accredited world class universities, top quality living conditions, and very positive prospects for your future career and life. So, now let us tell you a little bit more about what I call here the perfect triangle. So, how do we predict and what do we predict? We take information from past data in our vast database and compare your academic profile with the variables to find a match which helps us to predict your admission chances to the individual universities of your choice with ease. YUF structures the available information for you in clear lists where you can easily get an overview, compare, mark, and manage your favorite options. And if you like, directly, just one click away, ask us to assist you with your application. In the second stage, if we find out that the universities of your choice have a low admission probability for you, we suggest options to you with a high individual chance of admission to a university that still exactly matches your profile. No other platform or agency is able to offer this service to you, I am pretty sure. Then we support you. Our AI-powered system ensures that you find the probability of admission to your chosen universities with minimum efforts. You get access to our panel of assisted experts who provide end-to-end support for all of your application activities. You don't miss out on important deadlines, information, or know-how relevant to the admission process. Succeed? Get admission to one of your top choice universities. Get assistance on visa support activities like visa submission documents, interview questions, preparation, and so on. And we assist you in getting all the information you need on accommodation facilities in your host country. And it doesn't stop there. We even help you to find quality project and internship opportunities with top institutions and companies in Europe. If you like, you can become part of our network once you're admitted. You consult fellow students about your key to success, and you keep in touch with us and become part of our community. Sounds easy? It is easy. I'll wrap up this process for you. If you download the Assisted mobile app, type in your academic profile, you can start to browse for countries, courses, and then predict your admission probability to any universities in these countries that I listed. Then you make the decision, okay, these guys told me that I have good chances to apply to University ABC. I'm going to go on my own. I'm going to do that. And you leave our system and you apply to the university on your own. What we would do if you stay with us, we would help you to apply, and you'd apply via YUF. We'll help you to form the perfect application to make sure that it's in time, that it's complete, that it has all the necessary formalities and so on. So we'll guide you through this whole confusing process. And there's no guarantee, of course, but if you follow all of these guidances, there's a very high possibility to be admitted to one of the universities where you'd like to be admitted. You can always opt in or opt out. You would like to have our visa service, you would like to take our accommodation service, and you would like to join our student network and even work for us and consult fellow students about your key to success. It's quite easy, and it all can be done if you download the Assisted mobile app, take the YUF feature that is included in the Assisted mobile app, and start the process. Now, In order to do all of this, you apparently need some finances. I'm going to have a sip of coffee and then I'm going to tell you more about your finances. Well, actually, I can't tell you anything about your finances, but I'll tell you what other students do in order to manage their finances during their study abroad stay. And as an example, as Germany is the biggest and maybe also most important destination for students, you can just take Germany as an example. How do German students finance their studies? To get an overview of how the German education system works, let's have a brief look into how German students typically manage the financial aspects of their education. As in most cases, parents and guardians typically pay for the student's education, which as per studies have shown to be almost half of the amount required. And we are talking here, remember well, only about the living expenses because there are no tuition fees in most of the cases in Germany. The remaining amount is usually a combination of part-time work done by the student plus education finances by the state. A very small percentage, approximately 3%, are known to receive grants and a good majority are from foundations or organizations sponsoring talented students. On average, German students have over 860 euro per month at their disposal. However, a quarter of all the students have to make it with less than 640 euros per month. Here are some ways to finance your studies in Germany: parental income, savings, personal savings, working part-time, student loans, and scholarships. So if your parents are financing your international studies, you can use this as a proof of financial resources to get your student visa, for which you'll be required to submit a bank statement proving that the money belongs to your parents and will cover your study and living costs in the country. Additionally, if they are able to cover your entire program completely, then you can fully commit to your classes and be exempted from looking for additional income resources like part-time jobs or grants. Personal saving funds are a common practice for most families and can also be used as a proof of financial resources. Then, of course, you yourself, you play a role in this, especially if we are talking about master education. Personal savings from your side may not always cover the total cost of study abroad, but if planned wisely, with a little bit of effort, you can arrange for the minimal amount required to provide proof of financial resources. Since this amount cannot be earned overnight, it's highly recommended you start saving earlier. And maybe also a short remark of the slides. In Germany and Austria and Switzerland and so on, there is no age restriction to starting master studies. So it's very well possible and very common that you in your home country work after your BA studies until you have enough savings, and then maybe 2 or 3 years after graduating from your BA studies, you start your master studies in Germany. So it's no problem if you need to take time in order to earn the money actually that you need. This is very common and very, very many international students do so. It is often seen that the student who dream to study abroad save up money for years in advance, as I said now, just to make sure that they can one day make that journey without any hassle. Regardless, difficult but true. As a student, it is a wise idea to constantly save money for your studies. In the end, that's what actually most of the students really do, and it also builds your personality, I guess. Student loans is another important topic. Many government-funded and non-government-funded loan resources offer loans that are often with zero or very low interest rates to students looking for financial support for their international education. Even universities in Germany and Europe have established their very own student loan schemes to promote and support foreign students to study abroad. Some of the things you should keep in mind when planning for a student loan include: the student loan schemes are often limited and may not cover all your study and living costs. If it's a public scheme, it may not charge interest, however, there may be limitations on the time duration of the payback. So make sure to get the details up front on those terms. No government resources will have low interest rates but may have limitations on the amount you can borrow. In short, student loan schemes can be your complementary fund, and you may need to find other sources to cover the remaining cost of your study abroad. So make sure to do a thorough check on the terms and conditions before getting abroad. Now, scholarships. Of course, everyone wants scholarships. Depending on the criteria applicable, European universities are known to offer scholarships that include not just tuition fees, but sometimes even accommodation and other expenses. Some of the most commonly seen scholarships are starter scholarships, academic scholarships, public funding, governmental scholarships, scholarships for living expenses, social grants, fee waivers, Erasmus scholarships, and a lot more. In Germany, I must tell you, it's quite hard to rely only on scholarships, but they will certainly, if you get one, add a great amount of the money in your budget to cover your living expenses while studying in Germany. And since there's a wide variety of them, it's highly suggested that you take the time to check carefully whether you are eligible to a scholarship and you could apply. There's the Deutschlandstipendium, DAAD scholarships, privately funded scholarships, and of course Erasmus, but Erasmus is rather for students who would like to do an exchange within their study program and not go abroad for the whole degree. Here are some foundations that award scholarships to international students. And these are talent promoting associations or institutions. So they will also be based on social merits and so on. For example, the Friedrich Ebert Foundation Scholarship, Heinrich Böll Foundation Scholarship, and Hans Böckler Foundation Scholarship for children with parents who do not have an academic background. Additionally, some universities share a lot of scholarships to international students to help them and boost their attractiveness. The main player for scholarships in Germany is the DAAD, the German Academic Exchange Service, which is a large organization whose mission is to promote the internationalization of German universities by creating countless funding and counseling opportunities for inbound and outbound talented students in Germany. Since they came into existence almost 100 years ago, millions of foreign students have benefited from DAAD services. More than 131,000 students in 2016 and foreign scholars were funded in their education with the help of the DAAD grants. Today, they have a rich list of available scholarships to international students. And maybe one hint, if it comes to a scholarship application, you should always consider that the scholarship application is different from the application to the university. They are two different procedures. And if you download our assisted mobile app, get started, type in your academic profile and so on, you can also, in a very short time, be able to browse for scholarships. If you don't find scholarships by browsing, you can always get in touch with an expert on our backend panel because they'll guide you personally through the scholarship options. So, what we would like to recommend you in order to benefit from all of these offers is to download what we would like to be the world's #1 mobile app for international higher education in Europe, the Assisted Mobile App. It's more than just another student app, so much more. So it brings together, again, you find the perfect triangle: students looking to study overseas for the higher education and educational experts who get access to an active student community, and educators who register their universities here and promote their study programs. But not only university offers from universities that actively registered at the app, but all the possibilities are featured and framed. So you get a real wide range of study options and all of the terms and conditions for the studies. If you download the app, which is available for iOS and for Android formats, you can just type in your academic profile, of course, a truthful one, because otherwise our systems won't work. And this will supplement your search and enable us to find the best matching study program for you. Then you can browse the programs, join our virtual events, read our articles, and also, of course, share your news and share the app with your friends and peers. Our search engine is really the best one. You can search for universities and get details on their study programs, intake periods, scholarship options, and more. And filter your search based on country, study programs, tuition fees, and more. And no other search engine can do that because they are mostly focused on one country. So here you can compare your study options across the borders of countries. Exactly. And then you find all the university information in detail, which can take you a long time if you look at each and single university you are interested in on their website. Because every university website is structured in a different way, and it can take you ages to find the piece of information that you were looking for. So we would like to make your life a little bit easier in that concern. Explore events, housing and accommodation options, and our wonderful option to, once you are admitted to a German university, get access to Europe's #1 internship portal, Praxis. So with Praxis, you can get an international work experience, opportunity to build a global career profile, and much more. Chats and forums, and of course, you can always connect to a personal living agent near you if you feel you need personal consultation or you really physically would like to meet with someone. We believe, though, that with the drastic increase of online services, it's essential to have these virtual options for communication in higher education. And with the Assistant Expert feature, you get the opportunity to connect with an international education expert with many years of experience and knowledge in the European higher education sector, who can perfectly guide you in each and every aspect of your European university admission process. As to scholarships, I have mentioned this already a little bit in the financial part. If you download the Assisted mobile app, register, and type in your profile, and also apply via this Assisted mobile app, we can also consult you to find the right scholarship options for you according to what you're studying, what your plan is, and so on. And remember to submit 2 applications if you want a scholarship. Next to your admission to a university, it's always 2 applications. You can browse through the wide range of scholarship options available for different countries and locate the option that best suits your profile. Additionally, you can choose to talk to our assisted experts who are fully equipped to guide you through the procedures. Then there's the accommodation feature, where we bring together the accommodation providers who post offers and the students who look for accommodation. And of course, our experts again, because sometimes the accommodation question is a really tricky one. For example, if you're admitted to a university where you have many universities in the same city, so you should know, I am near to which university, where do I need to live, what is a good quarter for student accommodation, and so on. All of these questions, our experts can answer them in most of the cases. Another very important feature that we offer is the visa support. Whether for higher education or internships, the Assisted mobile app offers services to support all your visa-related requirements from A to Z. Get all the information from visa procedures to documents, interviews, and more. Talk to our experts virtually and get step-by-step assistance. We can answer your questions like, which type of visa do I need? Sometimes this is not really mentioned in the university admission letter. Where to apply, how to crack the visa interviews, what are going to be possible questions that I ask me, what are the documents that I need, and is this insurance that I have here enough, or will these guys want another insurance, and so on. All of these questions we can get through them with you, consult you, and make sure that your visa interview will be a success. Closing the circle, your UniFinder offers an artificial intelligence powered system that ensures that you do not wonder about the possibilities of admission, but get a definite picture as to which specific universities you are eligible and how you can proceed with your admission process. We analyzed the data of next to 500 plus higher education institutions in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland to predict to which universities you are likely to be admitted to with your personal qualification record. YUF supports you throughout the application process and makes sure that your application reaches the university of your choice. With YUF, you can enroll in one of Europe's excellent academic environments and benefit from high quality higher education, living conditions, and very positive prospects on your future career and life. I think that sounds good. So this is where you can find us. Otherwise, you can just go to the Google Play Store and so on to download our app, register, type in your academic profile, and let us help you and guide you through the jungle of application to a European university free of tuition fees. Thank you very much. Enjoy, have a safe journey to Europe or now on your search to find the right university. And I'll now be available for your questions if you have some. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, tech team, I think there are some questions, right? You put them in the Q&A mode? Okay, Robert, thank you very much. How will I know that I have successfully got the scholarship from the university? Will there be any criteria for it to apply? Well, you will know only after you get the confirmation. You can't know in advance whether you get a scholarship or not. So this is the difficult part of it. You have to apply to a university to get admission, and often the scholarship application process is in the same time. So one depends on the other, but the two are not parallel. So you can have the admission to a university but no scholarship, and you can have a scholarship but no university admission. So you have to do both procedures and hope that both procedures work out if you need the money from the scholarship. And criteria to apply, oh yeah, of course. Depending on the scholarship, will be academic performance, language skills, motivation, engagement, social engagement, all kinds of things. It's very difficult to say in general because there are also different scholarships that have different intentions, because funders often have different intentions. So the best thing is to focus as much as possible on your plans. And if you need a little help to get orientation, then please do contact our experts to give you a little orientation. We can always help you with your application, yes. It's mostly designed for the application to get admission to a university. What we do with the scholarships, we guide you and we screen for you which kind of scholarships you would be eligible to. Okay, that's an interesting question. Thank you very much for that. Do the student has to reach the study destination to apply for the country or regional scholarship, or he can apply for the same from his home country? That's a good question. There are scholarships where you can apply before getting admission to a university. For example, a DAAD scholarship would be something that you'd apply from your home country, And they'd know that, okay, then you need admission, and then the next step would be to go to Germany and then get the scholarship from the time of your arrival on. But there are other scholarships, for example, the Deutschlandstipendium. It depends on being enrolled at a German university. So you can also apply from wherever. I think today almost all of the application procedures are digital, so it doesn't really depend where you are at the time of your application. But the scholarships will have the condition that you have to be there in Germany or Switzerland, Austria, France, wherever, at the time when you want to have the scholarship. So in order to actually get the money, you have to be in the country where you study, in your study destination. The scholarship amounts are very different, right? So the DAD scholarship is usually a full scholarship of 750 for MA students, I think 850 euros for MA students. It might be a bit higher now because costs in Germany for living are also rising. And there are scholarships like the Deutsche Stipendium, for example, which is really meant also for all the German students as a financial support, and it only finances something like 300 euros. So it's just a partial scholarship. So it depends very much on the organization and whether they finance full scholarships or partial scholarships. Sometimes you're also entitled to have more than one partial scholarship. And what's the deciding factor for the student to get loan assistances or scholarships? Well, I think it's very different if you apply for loan assistances or scholarships. And for scholarships, it's very often academic merit. It's very often also the quality of the motivation and the question of how convincing you are. So if you have a very, very clear goal and you very clearly know why you want to study this and why this is your way and why after your BA you would like to do this in this MA studies and this country is the right place for you and this university where you would like to go to is also the right place for you, then your letter of motivation, your motivation statement will be of high quality and you got better chances. And I'd say that for example, if you take the DAD, there are quotas for scholarships. So, for example, in Iran, which is traditionally has a big tradition of sending students to Germany, and many, many students are attracted. You'll find a few DAD scholarship offers with a lot of applicants, while in other countries this might not be the case, because there are many scholarships and not so many applicants. So it depends on your subject field. It depends on your academic performance and on the country where you're coming from and where you're going to. So very, very difficult to generalize. I think it might be a little bit easier if you do life sciences and sciences, hard sciences, but not necessarily. I don't think it depends so much on subject areas, but sometimes there are special scholarship programs to specific subject areas that we, for example, in Germany are looking for. And for loan assistances, I think it just depends on your own or your parents' stable financial situation, whether the bank or the funding organization, the loaning association gives you the credit. Depends on a few personal parameters like income of your parents and so on. Okay. Will the scholarship include tuition fees or the other expenses as well? Well, for the countries that I introduced here, the good news is that there are no tuition fees in general for international students. So you can say that these universities and these countries offer tuition fee waivers to all the international students. and you would only, it can be quite an amount, but you would only, for example, for Germany, need the 860 euros per month for your living expenses. Country list for a scholarship. I wouldn't know of any such a thing. If you ever find the list, Robert, please send it to me because I'd also like to see it. I think there are, I think, worldwide websites that claim to list all the scholarships, but basically, I think you'd have to do researches for each country. Which kinds of scholarships are offered? What are the requirements? This is a bit of a nasty work, I must say. And we can assist you with that. But we couldn't say, look, you want to go anywhere in Europe, what are the scholarships? This question, as I just pointed out, is a bit too broad. Because the conditions are so different and it depends so much from where the student comes from, what the subject is, and where he or she is going to, that everyone would need more detailed information and then could give you an information. Okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I can't see any more questions. So, thank you very much for your questions, for your attention, and so on. And I wish you good luck on your way to Europe. I hope that our Assistant mobile app can help you on that way. Will invite you again to download it, and we'll have a last video for today to say goodbye. All the best for you and keep healthy.